place where I'm supposed to feel safe. Like, this is honestly a place I did honestly feel safe. Every time I walked into school, I never thought anything would happen to me. Like, that's honestly a place I've honestly felt protected. Now, I don't even want to be in the hallways long.
A vigil was held at Apalachee High School last night, honoring the 4 victims who were killed.
And Vice President Kamala Harris touched on the shooting while making a campaign stop yesterday in New Hampshire, calling it a senseless tragedy.
Kids are sitting in a classroom where they should be fulfilling their God-given potential, and some part of their big, beautiful brain is concerned about a shooter busting through the door of the classroom. It's senseless. It is. We've got to stop it. And we have to end this epidemic of gun violence in our country once and for all.
Meanwhile, former President Donald Trump also reacting to the Georgia school shooting, posting to Truth Social, saying in part, quote, "These cherished children were taken from us far too soon by a sick and deranged monster."
And for more on how to navigate this tragic event, we're joined by National Mental Health Correspondent Dr. Nicole Clark. Thanks for being here.
I am happy to be with you all. It is such a tragedy, and as we've been talking about, Wednesday's shooting at Apalachee High School marked the 30th mass killing in the U.S. so far this year. 2 14-year-old students and 2 teachers killed, with 9 others injured. Now, in addition to the physically wounded, hospitalizations for anxiety and panic attacks were also reported. These shootings are traumatic for victims, their families, and the surrounding communities. But guys, they can also have much wider ranging mental health effects on the greater public as well. We all are impacted when shootings like this occur.
Yeah, Nicole, talk to us more about how, these mass shootings, they seem to happen one after another. How does that have an impact on our mental health?
It absolutely affects our mental health. It is traumatizing. Some people are noting having flashbacks, nightmares, avoidance behavior, not wanting to go to school, not wanting to go to a grocery store, to church. Some kids wanting to sleep in bed with their parents, not wanting to be alone at all. So it definitely affects us. Long term, there could be issues with, not having a sense of security or safety or even trust in institutions.
Yeah, I mean, parents out there can see their kids in this event, kids that are in school. We have both kids in school. Yes. Talk to us about what we can do as parents to talk to our kids, because they're going to see this all over the news and the internet as well.
First of all, it is important to have the conversation. 60% of American parents say that they are uncomfortable or unprepared talking with their kids about school shootings. Here are some things to keep in mind. Simply make sure that your information is accurate and that it is age appropriate, keeping in mind the age of your child and their maturity level. You also want to limit media exposure as much as possible, and you want to listen. Sometimes when having a conversation with our kids, we ask them a question and then we jump in and say, yes, and here's what you need to do. But we want to listen to their concerns and we want to validate their feelings. And then finally, we want to reassure children that there are steps in place to keep them safe and protected.
Nicole, what are some of the signs that parents need to look out for? My daughter's too young, your son is old enough to kind of get it, but for a lot of kids, they might try to hide their feelings or maybe not share how they're really processing this news. What do parents need to look out for signs in their kids?
And the truth is, Alex, we are all impacted no matter the age. Even toddlers, though they may not be able to verbalize, you'll note in their behavior if they feel sad or anxious, because kids will pick up the energy of their parents. And so that's something to keep in mind. You also want to note any changes at all. We know our kids, we have that gut feeling, and you may not know what it is, but you're just like, something's off. Yes, something's different. Lean into that. If there's a change in their sleeping habits, a change in their eating habits, a change in their mood or behavior, you want to check in with them and connect them with the proper resources.
Yeah, it's never too young, right, to start seeing a mental health professional?
Yes, because small kids, I've done it before. We do play therapy with sand trays. We do art therapy. We really analyze their drawings. So we can glean a lot by having a conversation and interacting with children, and that is something that is truly important.
Yeah, very important. So difficult the fact that we are back here talking about another mass shooting, again, happening at a school in Georgia. But Nicole, we always appreciate your insight and advice. Very important to have as we deal with another tragedy. It is time now for